The 2025 Fairwork Germany report evaluates and ranks working conditions on 7 of the most important digital labor platforms in Germany: Bolt, Flink, Helpling, Lieferando, Uber, Uber Eats and Volt. And it rates working conditions on these platforms against the 5 Fair Work principles of fair work: fair pay, fair conditions, fair contracts, fair management and fair representation. Our findings show that many workers in the German platform economy still face unfair working conditions and lack basic social protections. This matters now more than ever, as Germany, like all the other European countries, is in the process of transposing the EU Platform Work Directive international law. This is a process that will directly shape the future of platform work in Germany.
Fairwork rates platforms across the world against 5 principles of decent work. We give companies a fairness score out of 10 to show how they compare to one another. The range of platform scores in our rankings shows that precarity, exploitation, and dangerous working conditions are the result of choices made by platform companies, and they are choices that can be unmade.
The first principle is about fair pay. For this principle, we give a point when platforms can show evidence that workers earn at least the local minimum wage, and a second point when platforms have a living wage policy. In the second Fair Work principle, we score when platforms provide measures to mitigate the risks of the job, such as safety training and equipment. We award a second point when platforms provide a safety net to the workers. For the third Fair Work principle, we award a point when there is evidence that workers are provided with clear terms and conditions or contracts, and that workers provide informed consent to these terms and conditions or contracts. A second point is awarded when the platform can provide evidence that no unfair contract terms are imposed. Under the fourth principle, we observe whether workers are provided with accessible channels to effectively solve problems and also to appeal to platform decisions and deactivations. A second point is awarded when platforms provide evidence that they provide equity in the management process. A point under Principle 5 is awarded when the platform assures freedom of association and the expression of worker voice. A second point is awarded when platforms can evidence that they support democratic governance of the platform.
Fair work teams around the world use the same method. This is a 3-step approach. In the first step, we collect publicly available documents. This is a desk research. In the second step, we talk to platform managers and ask them to provide us evidence regarding to which extent they are meeting the fair work standards. And in the third step, we are talking to workers, actual workers working on the platforms, and collect evidence. And as a result, we put all the evidence we have collected and score the platforms accordingly.
When it comes to the first principle, fair pay, only Flink was able to demonstrate that its workers consistently earn the local minimum wage after costs and for all hours worked.
In the fair conditions, none of the platforms could prove that they have adequate health and safety provisions for the workers. Also, they couldn't prove that there is no safety net for the workers, as well as they cannot mitigate the task-specific risks.
For fair contracts, 3 platforms, Lieferando, Flink and Helpling, had clear and accessible terms and conditions or contracts and were thus awarded a point for the first threshold.
In the fair management, Flink and Lieferando could prove that they have due processes for workers.
Lieferando was also awarded a point for the second point for providing evidence for effective processes for equity in the management process. And finally, for fair representation, it was only Lieferando that could be awarded a point here because there was evidence of works councils that effectively support workers' collective voice.
Overall, the picture is quite concerning. This year's results don't show any progress. In fact, we've seen a decline in fairness across all 5 principles compared to earlier years. Many workers in domestic care and cleaning are still treated as independent contractors, which limits their rights and protections.
In the delivery sector and ride-hailing, there is an increasing tendency towards subcontracting arrangements. This means that platforms are outsourcing their responsibilities regarding work and employment relations to the subcontractors. And regarding algorithmic management, we have observed that there is no transparency. This means that workers don't know how the decisions about their livelihoods and working conditions are given.
And so, as Germany gets ready to implement the EU Platform Work Directive, we see a real opportunity. But it's crucial that policymakers take concrete steps, address false self-employment, regulate subcontractors and intermediaries, make platforms accountable, and improve algorithmic transparency. Without that, decent work in the platform economy will remain out of reach for many, many workers.